2 minute drill time. It's Jim Monaghan along with that guy, Chris Swendeman. And Chris, as we get started this week, the topic that I think is maybe the hottest in baseball right now involves someone that the hardcore fans know who he is. I don't know if the average fan does. They may remember him from his playing days, but we're talking about Tony Clark, who
Yeah.
was the executive director of the Major League Baseball Players Association, and the news coming on Tuesday that he is resigning. And there's a couple of big things about this, not the least of which is the collective bargaining agreement runs out at the end of
Right.
November. And as of December 1st, the players could find themselves locked out. But this story has taken some really, really crazy twists in the past couple of days from a Major League Baseball Players Association licensing money to a venture that they were doing for youth sports. And now there's a family member involved, and I can't figure quite out what her relationship is. And this whole thing got really crazy in a really short amount of time.
It really did. And I mean, it was like 0 to 100. And all of a sudden, the news broke early this morning about Tony Clark stepping down. And if you're part of the Players Association right now, you have to be really concerned about your future and the future of the Players Union as a whole. Because no matter who steps in, you're less than a year from you're basically in the last year of this contract, and the owners are just getting more and more momentum. I was telling you off the air that after I read the news this morning about Tony Clark stepping down, all I could picture was every MLB owner being like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons and just sitting back and gloating in their office going, excellent, going exactly to plan, and just like crinkling their fingers, very like, an evil character from the cartoons. This just sways so much momentum into the owners, into the owners' laps, and it's just not a good look any which way you read about it right now.
I'm not sure how much it sways momentum, to be honest with you, Chris, because the
Really,
Major League Baseball Players Association, they are a strong, united
they
bunch.
are.
They really are.
That I
Um,
agree with.
and if it comes down to a salary cap, they're fighting it, and that's going to be one of the
Right.
big issues, and we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yep.
But that's going to be one of the huge issues. But it does lead to a little bit of chaos because at the beginning of each spring training, the Players Association, Tony Clark and company, they
Right.
go to each spring training site, sit down with the players. Here's
Right.
what's
Yep.
new. Here's what we're working on. Here's what's going on, especially this year, going into a new collective bargaining agreement. And they were supposed to go to the Cleveland Guardians first. And those players wake up this morning to find out the meeting's been canceled. And that was pretty much all they were told. And it's like, what? Who? What? So I think there
Guys,
will be a little bit of confusion going in, but they have named an interim director, Bruce Meyer. And so I think from the players' perspective, I think it's standard procedure going forward. Meyer is a tough negotiator, from what I've been told. I don't know that he has a great relationship with Major League Baseball and the owners. Clark certainly could be an adversarial person as well. I think the last time Major League Baseball Players Association had somebody who the owners kind of got along with was Don Fear, and that's a while ago.
yeah, that's wow, that's a blast from the past. I, I, th- I don't know how much, if I'm part of the players union, I want my rep to be, or the president to be buddies with the owners. I don't know. I feel comfortable with that. I'd rather have the tough negotiator and take my chances that we're getting the best bang for the buck. Tony Clark was one of them. So I think that also played into their favor of a level of comfortability, as far as their president doing the best to maximize their potential returns. Um, as far as now, as long as you have a good negotiator or somebody who's tough, I think they'll be in a good spot. But it definitely, for some reason, I just don't feel good about a president stepping down a year, getting into a year of what is going to be really tough CBA negotiations.
Oh, there's no question about it. And, good portion, good chunk of the owners want a salary cap. Steve Cohen, he can't quite
Yeah,
decide because of the way he spends money. Right now, all he has to worry about is paying a fine if he goes over a limit. If there's a
right,
salary cap, that could really put a crimp in his style as well as for the Dodgers. But, with December 1st looming, you're going to hear about this all season long. And make no mistake about it, the owners are going to do their level best. This group of
yep,
billionaires is going to do their level best to get you to hate a group of millionaires. Oh, I'd do it for free if they'd let me play and that sort of thing because we can't,
right,
for some reason, Joe Fan, I think, can empathize more with a billionaire owner than he can with the player. Oh, they're overpaid. Oh, they're greedy. Oh, they're this. Oh, they're that. And I'm pro player all the way with regard to this. This is a very, very specialized sport. If anybody could do it, if it was easy, we'd all be doing it.
right.
And it goes, you get Yankee fans who wanted the Yankees to pay Judge whatever he was asking. And then all of a sudden you've got people saying, well, he's overpaid. Well, make up your mind here, you
Right.
know?
Well, look, Yankee fans in general. You have an owner now with the same last name as the owner who spent to get whatever they needed to win. And now, one generation later, you're looking at a guy who's like, well, we have to pay the city all this money to say, so we don't exactly make 800. Nobody. And I can say, I'll be in the front of the line. Nobody wants to hear it from Yankee fan. Like, Yankee fan wants to hear Hal cry poverty because you know what? It's not, it's falling on deaf ears. And I don't understand. I never understood. I'm with you. I never understood siding with a billionaire. Chris Rock made a great joke one time in one of his stand-ups. He's like, Shaq is rich. The guy who signs Shaq's checks is wealthy. And that's exactly what you have. And that is exactly what you have here. And I'm with you. I'm with the players. And you know what? You're as good as somebody is going to pay you to be.
Yeah.
And you know what? Good on them for getting the money. Shohei, good on him for negotiating a brilliant contract that is going to last him 4 lifetimes, and his family. Soto, good on you for getting 700 million. Whatever you can get, and somebody will pay you. Good for it because you know what? It'll pave the way for the next generation of players that are going to make the next, set the next bar. It's happened, for how many years, Jim? We talk about it. Nothing's changing, and the owners, the horse is out of the barn, fellas. You're not going to get a cap on this. I really don't believe they will.
Well, I suppose it's possible, but here's the thing. Somebody has to be the adult in the room here. Is it going to be the
True.
billionaire owner or will be the millionaire player? Back in 2001, in the dark ages, all right, 25 years ago,
Yep.
Major League Baseball's revenue was 3.55 billion with a B
Right.
dollars. The last year that we have the figures for was 2024, 12.1 billion. They've gone from 3.5 to 12.1 since 2001.
Right.
So, like, there has to be cooler heads have to prevail at some point here, and
Right.
they've got to come up with a way that they can split this money amicably and keep things moving. But the salary cap isn't the only thing that's going on here because there's other
No.
things that are involved with the collective
Right.
bargaining agreement. One of them is expansion, and I
Right.
think the players would be in favor of that because
Right.
more jobs, more money for the players. And the other is the international draft, which Major League Baseball does not have yet. Right
Right.
now, American players, Canadian players, and players from Puerto Rico are all combined in the first year draft that's held every June. But the international draft is a whole different thing. Well, there isn't one. So you can
No.
go out and
Right.
you can sign a
Yep.
player. And you were sending me information a little
Mhm.
earlier on Tuesday about supposedly this 11-year-old who the
Yep.
Philadelphia Phillies have signed out of Venezuela for what is it, $1.8 million?
One
dollars?
point, David Basabi, who's a shortstop, $1.8 million at 11 years old.
Now, I
It's like
can't,
the
I haven't been
Go ahead.
able to find if this is legit or not. It's only been on
Right.
one site and one Twitter account that I can find. But that's not even really whether it's true or not, isn't the biggest part of it.
No,
What's involved is right now, a team can go sign anybody. And
correct.
I think 16 is the age that they've set, but
Right.
we can fudge that probably with, right?
A little handshake, a little wink, wink,
But
anything
11
like that.
years old. Like if this is where Major League Baseball is going, if this is what's going to
Right.
happen, I think you will see the international draft become a huge bargaining chip in this upcoming collective bargaining agreement.
Absolutely. I agree. And did you ever see the movie back in the 80s, Rookie of the Year?
No, sure.
Right? It's literally life imitating art now. We've gone to signing people in grammar school. Think about that for a second. I mean, you think of rookies, you think of 18, 19, 20-year olds. We're talking 11. I- That's I if 11-year old can buy me a car, I'm concerned about this. Like I just I have my concerns about where the bar should be set at this. But you know what? I mean, if they're allowing it, yeah, again, we have to come to the table and somebody's got to be the adult in the room and go, maybe we should just have an international draft as well to go along with, the first year, the American uh, draft, because this just seems like it'll be the Wild West and it'll go south quick.
Kid hasn't even hit puberty yet. I'm reminded
Right.
of when my son was 9, he played on a travel team. Um, and it was really good. It was a really good team. I want to say 4 or 5 kids on that team ended up playing in college at one level,
Oh, wow.
excuse me, one level or another.
Yep.
And I remember somebody saying to me, with regard to one of the kids, what do you think? What do you think? And I looked and I said, I think he's 9. I think he's 9 years old. Like, let's pump the
Yeah, I don't
brakes a
know what
little
you,
bit,
right.
you
Yeah.
know?
Can we just maybe just tap the brakes a little bit and
Yeah.
just let him develop a little bit?
I mean,
I
this
mean, it's
11-year-old
crazy.
kid could get to 12, 13, maybe 14 and go, yeah, I don't want to play baseball anymore.
Right. Yeah. I want to play football
Yeah.
or whatever.
All right. Hey, let's turn to pop culture. You and I are both big fans of this television show. It has 2 seasons
Yep.
under its belt. It starts filming season 3 in May of this year. And I think by the fall, we should see some of the episodes. And that is Billy Bob Thornton and Landman. And I am blown away by how good this show is.
I will take credit for telling you you need to start watching
Yeah.
Landman. And I have never seen a cast I'm so excited to watch an episode of. You had an all-star cast already. And then in season 2, you bring in the brilliant and uber talented, a man that my wife, honestly, if you asked her, will leave me for now at his age. And I am not kidding. That is her celebrity, one of her celebrity crushes, Sam Elliott. It was like the cherry on the top of an already brilliant cast. Now, I was never a huge fan of Billy Bob Thornton. Not to say I didn't like him. I just never really got into a lot of his. I liked Bad Santa and I liked Friday Night Lights, the
Mm.
original movie. But I never really got into a lot of his roles for some reason, for whatever it was. I have such appreciation for this man, and his facial expressions alone can make you laugh, can make you sympathize, can make you cry. And he doesn't have to say a word. And when he does, everything out of his mouth is sheer brilliance. He's got the southern draw and the drawl that it comes to. You expect it to be a little bit slower, but everything is so calculated, right? It's such a phenomenal show, and I hope more people like latch onto it that already have, because it is just, if you haven't watched it, you're doing it wrong, because this show is just so brilliant in so many ways.
I don't want to give anything away for people who may have not yet started to watch it or are watching it and they're getting into it. But there are some just wonderful moments. You know that the woman, the actress who plays his wife or ex-wife or future wife, whatever,
Allie Larder.
she's actually from Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
Yes, she's a
Yeah, she's a
Jersey girl.
Jersey girl, exactly.
Yeah, she
And
absolutely is.
the actor and actress who play their children get along famously in real life. They have not yet been told why their characters hate each other. They have no idea of the backstory. Now, either the backstory hasn't been written yet, which
Right,
we've seen in Stranger Things. There were
right.
things that,
Yep.
were happening up to the end as the brothers, the Duffer
Yeah.
brothers, were writing the final episode. So either they just don't feel like telling these two actors, or they haven't come up with the backstory yet to this.
And either way, I think their chemistry on set is brilliant. A typical sister brother that just cannot stand the sight of each other, and it's sometimes what siblings do. It's just the way it is, and they play it perfectly. Everybody in that cast, their role is phenomenal, and it just Taylor Sheridan has to be one of the hottest people in Hollywood in my mind because whatever show he touches turns to gold. Landman is, I think, if you told me I would find a show that I would say topped Yellowstone, I would be like, you're out of your mind. Because Yellowstone for me with Kevin Costner was just a new bar was set.
Mm.
And then all of a sudden, when Landman came, I was like, all right, let's give this I like the cast. Let me check this out. And I was just blown away. And he also does Mayor of Kingstown with Jeremy Renner. And that's a great show. I wouldn't put it on the par with Landman, but it's really, really good. And it still has the same producer name on it. I mean, he's just absolutely killing it in Hollywood right now with his TV shows.
I'll tell you a funny Sam Elliott story. Back when I was doing the morning show for WDHA, there was a period of time where I was doing endorsements for John Johnson, the automobile
Yep,
dealership.
absolutely.
And so I was doing their commercials. And, people know what I sound like.
Right.
So I was getting feedback from one of the women in the office who said, "We like your commercials, but," and at this point in time, Sam Elliott is doing Dodge commercials
Right.
and John Johnson's at Dodge dealership. "We'd like you to try to sound like Sam Elliott."
If I could sound like Sam Elliott, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, exactly. And, I can get my voice down a little bit, but I can't go there. And I said,
Yeah.
listen, I'd love to be able to do that, but if that's what you want, you've got to go pay Sam because I can't do it.
You've got the wrong guy.
You
I'm
really
sorry.
do. I have
Yeah.
this, I have this little squeaky voice. Sam Elliott's way down here. It's just not going to happen.
I mean, he's got that natural Southern deep voice. You can't replicate that. I mean, you, me, either one of us.
Right.
It's not happening. But yeah, that's a way tall task for anybody from this area that you're not going to be able to. That's like, saying, "Hey, can you replicate the voice of God?" Sure, let me get right on that. I'll go make my notes now and let me see if I can replicate. It's just there's one Sam Elliott and he's got the voice, and we're not replicating that anytime soon. Sorry.
We really like the job you're doing. The commercials sound great, but do you think? Yeah, no, I not only do I not think, I know I can't pull that off.
I'm
All right,
positive.
Swendeman, I think that's all we have on tap. We've
Yep.
talked Landman, we've talked Major League Baseball and lockouts and billions of dollars and things along those
And
natures.
11-year-olds making more money than you and I will ever see combined.
Exactly. If you like what we do, hit the like, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. Tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell somebody, and we'll chat again next week.
You got it, Jim. Have a good one.